Okay, I think we're doing pretty good. Let's go ahead and get started.
And sometimes falls asleep.
Okay. So I'll call the meeting to order. I'm Sonia Lane, co-president of the Rolando Park Community Council. Okay. And so I just want to let you know, our meeting minutes are posted on the rolandopark.org website. And then the meeting videos are available on the YouTube channel. You can see these links on the rolandopark.org website. Okay. I'm going to start with dues. Okay, and we had 40 renewals and 16 new members. Dues to date, $672. Donations, $820.63. And so that gives us a total of $1,482.63 for the month. Okay. All right. So let me get back to our agenda here. So what we're going to start out is our community announcements. And first up is Bettina from Redwood Village.
Yeah. We don't have a whole lot. I guess there's an issue with the cones in front of Darnell School. They put the cones out for traffic control or something, I'm not sure, but they don't put them back in on the weekends. And so because that area right there in front of school is so impacted with traffic, Jennifer had contacted the school and asked if they could please take the cones in for the weekend, just to give some little bit of relief to all the traffic issues, and they haven't. And in fact, looks like somebody, knocked the cones down with their car. So anyway, also wanted to just mention the child that unfortunately died. They got hit on University Avenue in front of North Gate. As far as we know, the driver didn't stop. I don't know if maybe Josh might have any information if that person's been found or what, but I guess a reminder to really be careful. I know for me personally, since there were 3 accidents that happened almost back to back. This one in our neighborhood, the other child in San Carlos, which was like less than a mile away from my granddaughter's school. And she was going to school that same morning. And then the accident that unfortunately killed the and another young man that was only 18 years old. So just kind of a reminder to be careful. Tomorrow's our Eastern Area Planning Committee meeting, and there will be an update on Choice Parkway right-of-way. So see what that's all about. And then this isn't in Redwood Village, but just a reminder that both El Cerrito and Rolando Park are having a lot of sewer upgrade work, and so a lot of streets are closed. I know myself, I like to drive through here when the traffic's heavy on the main thoroughfares, and I don't speed limit. I don't, especially now. I'm like so nervous driving through residential neighborhoods these days because of these accidents. But just a reminder, if you do that, since we live so close, there's a lot of closed roads. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Bettina. Okay, next up, Lynn.
Of course, I do have a lot to share. All right. Everybody see that? Okay. So last week we didn't have much going on. This week we do. And first of all, I want to thank everyone who came out on October 18th for our ribbon cutting. Sadly, Congressman Jacobs didn't stay for the ribbon cutting, but it was a fantastic event. And everyone that was there stayed after so we could do a group photo. Sometimes we have more losses than we have wins in the community, but this one was a win for everybody. So thanks. 10 years in, but okay. So there is a phase 2 to this, and this is actually going to be happening a little bit quicker than we thought it would be. first goal was to get the 5 trees in because we don't have a water source there. A neighbor's actually letting us use her water to water the trees. So I'm there once a week and water. But we did talk to some people who are going to be donating some native plants to us. And we're picking gopher repellent plants because you might have noticed at the ribbon cutting that we have a few gophers. We have at least one who's been very active. So that's our goal, is sometime when the rainy season starts, we'll start planting, and they're going to be native plants that only need water the first year and as they mature. And just to remind everyone again, if you're interested, we do a very informal cleanup down there the first Monday each month. Joyce and I were there last weekend. We have successfully cleaned all the way already from Livingston to College Grove. And some anonymous angel has been coming along and taking care of brush abatement for us where we thought we would have to do that. So we really only have a couple of houses left that need to be cleaned up. And then we have a clear path all the way up to College Grove. We think sometime in January, we're going to start moving north to University, and we'll have enough people to split into 2 groups. So we'll be cleaning all the way from the 94 to University Avenue once a month to keep this side University clean. It literally, we're there for an hour. Sunday mornings are a great time because of traffic. Most people are still sleeping at 7:30, at least not too many speeders. So we actually have 3 events coming up before the end of this month in November. And I'm going to step through them all real quick because I have to talk about the ones in December since we don't meet in December. So this Friday at the school here, this has always been an event for school families. It's now being opened up to the community. So Friday, 7:45, it's open to the community. Bring your own bags, please. We don't have a lot. It's sponsored by Feeding San Diego. We've been working with them as long as we've had a farmer's market at the school. I've been volunteering, I think, 7 or 8 years at it. It's one of the better things I think I do at the school. So again, open to the community, just bring your bags and show up. Saturday, we are back at the school because we're going to finish trying to weed that darn slope that we started in September. We did this with our school family. There were about 12 of us. 12, it turns out, is a really good number, not too many more than that because we have kids running around. And we already had a broken sprinkler and we don't need to damage that. But we think we'll be finished this time around. I don't know if you've looked at that slope, but the work that we did, the ground cover is already spreading out because we eradicated a lot of the weeds. So the ground cover is able to grow and spread, and that's our goal. We'll come back in the spring, see if we need to weed again. And then we're going to put in another request to the city for a permit to do some planting. Canyonlands gave us some great ideas for stuff we can plant on the slope and get that sort of prettied up. And as always, we do need volunteers. Next Thursday is the start of our annual popcorn fundraiser, Double Good. They're one of the more generous companies in terms of sharing. We get 50% of every bag of popcorn we sell, which is pretty darn good. And so it starts Thursday and Sunday. As soon as we get the link, the storefront is set up and we can go live. We'll email it out to everybody and post it on social media. Anytime during that time, please order some popcorn because all the proceeds we get go to support our movie in the park, which is pricey.
Yes.
But it's a great thing to do. We like it. Okay, that's November. On to December. We just submitted a request to Feeding San Diego to do a food drive for the first 2 weeks. And we're going to be doing it in conjunction with some of our local businesses. We'll be setting up some boxes. We have a holiday social. We're going to collect food there. And we also have a dumpster day on the 13th. We rescheduled one at the Presbyterian Church. We'll be collecting items there. And then anyone who cannot donate in person is able to donate via a virtual drive. You can just go online and pick out items and donate that way. We think it's a good cause, very good cause right now. Okay, Saturday, December 6th is our last University Avenue street sweep. Yes, we've had some good volunteers show up here. And the way we've been structuring these this year is run them from 8 to 10 a.m. You come when you can, stay as long as you can. Some people don't get there till 8:30 or 9. Perfectly fine. Come, sweep, clean, bag up, pick up trash, and then go on for the rest of the day. We're trying to make it be more casual and get more people involved in it. So this one will be in Redwood Village. We'll meet up on the corner of 58th and University. Bettina and I are always there early because we have donuts.
And they are good donuts.
And they are good donuts, that's right. And so this is our last University Avenue cleanup for this year. We haven't set a schedule yet, but we'll have that ready pretty soon. And just to make the day even busier, in the afternoon, we're doing our holiday social, and this is our community giving event. We'll be set up here in the front parking lot of the school. Got cider, got a little holiday music, cookies, and you can stop by and just visit and chat with us and drop off some food items for the food drive if you have anything to drop off. So that's, I think we're almost done now. And we're able to reschedule our dumpster day. This one will be at the Presbyterian Church, Reformed Presbyterian Church, on the following Saturday on the 13th from 9 to 12. And like last year, we're giving a little preference to community council members, to our volunteers, and to those who are donating to the food drive. You're in the first cut from 9 to 10:30. Not too subtle a hint, is it? I'm a member, volunteer, bring food. And you're assured of getting your stuff in for the bulky item drop-off. At 10:30, we'll open it up to Redwood Village and Rolando Park residents, or until the dumpsters are full. This will be posted on social media and we'll send it out, but we have a list of things you cannot bring: tires, electronic waste, oil, paint, all of that. This is strictly bulky item kind of stuff. And is that it? Just to remind people, all of these events are posted on our website, rolandopark.org. We also post all of this on social media. We have a Facebook account. We just set up an Instagram account a couple of months ago. So you can find all this stuff is readily available if you forget. It's not on your list of priorities for the day. Also want to remind people, because we sent this out earlier, our community partner Groundwork still has a free tree program. The city doesn't have one this year, SDG&E doesn't have one, but Groundwork does, and they're scheduling for the spring right now. They just planted, I think, 38 trees a few weeks ago. And so they'll be doing a planting this spring. I'll drop this link in the chat, but again, the flyer is also on our website, so you can scan the QR code, you can call the number, and just get on the reserve list, okay? And I think that's it. I'll skip over the membership drive. And just to let you know, January is also going to be a very busy month when we come back. It's our priority setting meeting. We look at what we did this last year, look at what we want to do this year. Members will vote sometime between January and February. We'll talk about it in February when we come back with a work plan. We'll also be voting on a location for the mural. That is one of the questions we cleared up with Roberto last meeting, is that we're working on a mural for the community as well as one for Rolando Park Elementary. If you've been out to the joint use park, we have a big white wall. It's the ramp to the upper field. It's been graffitied 2 years in a row. We think it's a great candidate for a mural that'll be involved the school families and the community as well. This year, we're also letting members decide what movie we're going to watch for Movie in the Park. And we'll be taking nominations for board officers for our open positions, secretary, treasurer, member at large, if anyone would like to do that. Joyce is running for re-election as a member at large, I hope.
Put her on the spot, right?
And that's it.
Right, thank you, Lynn. Okay, so next, we're gonna go to our public comments on non-agenda items. I ask you keep it to 2 minutes. Do we have anybody who would like to speak? Yeah, I think you should be on the camera. Right there is a good spot, right there, right there.
Okay.
Turn. You can turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can talk to
Hi, my name is Jeff Duenas. I'm a longtime Rolando resident. I'm Celia Vista West. And I became a member of the Rolando Park, newly organized Rolando Park Fire Safe Council. That's going to serve the entire Rolando Park and be in conjunction with all of the other fire safe councils within San Diego state and so on. We basically, it was organized by Debbie Blake and Jerry Flavin, both longtime residents, and to help inform the area residents, Rolando Park, of home hardening, of insurance regulations, state regulations that are coming around, and just basically inform everybody to what may have to happen to homes, especially in the red zones and in the canyon homes, especially. We also have a neighbor-to-neighbor program that we're going to implement on the 22nd. Volunteers are going to help clean up a backyard, put a couple fire breaks in and get it home hardened. And so that'll be our first test case. And we do have a website. It's Rolando Park FireSafeCouncil.com. And so you can volunteer on there and you can get more information on what these fire safe programs are all about. Right? Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. Any other non-agenda public announcements, items? Anybody online? No? I don't see any hands. Okay. Well, thank you. So we're going to go on to our community reports. Okay, and so we're gonna start with Ashcon Jones.
From the camera.
And don't kill yourself.
Yeah.
Well, good evening, everyone. Happy to be here on Veterans Day Eve, I guess we can call it. I believe I gave my legislative update to you guys last time I was here. For next year's legislative package, we now have on our website, there ought to be a law. This is where all the members of the community can pitch in their legislative ideas. I can send you guys all the link to that, all this information I'm telling you, I can send Bettina. So that's up on our website. You can put in whatever legislative ideas you guys have for this coming legislative cycle. And the other thing we have up on our website is the RSVP link for our apprenticeship fair. So if you guys want to sign up to that, we have a capacity of around 200 people. So it's going to be at the San Diego College of Continuing Education Mid-City Campus over in City Heights on November 20th. I have the flyer right here, and I have a few more in the back if anyone wants some more. You can go ahead and take a flyer there. And then the last event that we have as part of our update is our holiday drive that's going to be coming up on December 20th. I know Dr. Weber's doing a Thanksgiving holiday drive with, I believe it's turkeys. We're going to be doing one. In December around Christmas time. And that's going to be over at STEAM Academy in Spring Valley on the 20th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So that's all the updates I have for the events that we have coming up right now. I'd be happy to take any questions too, if you guys have any.
Any questions online? No. All right. Thank you, Ashkan. All right, moving along. So next we go with Officer Joshua.
Good to see you all. Good evening, everybody. So today is a very significant day for me. As you all know, I retired from the Marine Corps, so today is our 250th birthday.
All right.
It's my celebration. So I was happy to see the cookies when I walked
There you go.
Anyway, thank you all for that. So we did some updates I want to talk about real quick. I didn't hear what she said. But
You did great for 200.
I said it looked great for 200.
Yeah, pretty old. So this morning, I think it was, I believe it was this morning, 58th and University, we did have another car accident that was pretty bad. I think it did get carried as a serious injury accident. That's in addition to what you had mentioned earlier about the hit and run, which was a felony hit and run. We do have a bolo out. We are looking for the suspect in that. To my knowledge, we do not have them in pocket yet. It's being investigated by traffic division. As far as other stuff that's been going on, we had a stabbing. Someone was stabbed multiple times in the neck along 5000 University at 6:30 in the morning. We are actively working that case, and we should have the suspect in custody here very, very shortly. It's being worked as we speak. In addition to that, we had a fire 5000 Whiteman. So right across from Whiteman Street Park, that was earlier today. It was not transient encampment related, just so everyone can, take a deep breath real quick. I was actually shocked it wasn't, because I thought it was going to be, and I've been working very hard on that park for about 6 or 7 months, and I've removed probably 10 stake beds worth of encampment dunnage, if you will, over the course of that 6 months. So when I heard the fire, I raced over there and I was like, please tell me this isn't encampment related. And sure enough, it wasn't. We think it was a 13-year-old juvenile. There was a beehive on the hill. It was right below the church, right there off of 5000 Whiteman. Maybe they were trying to burn the bees out. I'm not sure. The juvenile got away. We weren't able to detain him. Nobody did see the juvenile light the fire, but he did jump out of the fence where it started and then jumped another fence and ran away. So it was pretty suspicious, obviously, with all that. Nonetheless, no structures were threatened. No one was evacuated. Fire was there as usual. They put it out very quickly and things were really good. So thank goodness for San Diego Fire Department, because they do a phenomenal job. I will say that we did tow 5 cars with vehicle abatement along Choice Parkway last week. I want to say it was Thursday. It was Thursday. 5 cars. We marked a couple others, and then NPD had just done a cleanup of that area as well. So abatement of those encampments, and we'll have them out doing a subsequent cleanup if it gets worse again. But it's still looking relatively pretty good considering what it was. Probably a solid 90% better than what it's ever been in my entire 11 years here. So that's a good thing. Bringing up the fire council meeting, I would like to, the gentleman in the back, thank you for being here, and I appreciate all the work you're doing. With the fire council meeting, we have established more or less a centralized fire council meeting where all the community fire council representatives, at least the leadership of those fire councils, can meet at the Mid-City substation and essentially get together with the fire marshal. And it gives the fire marshal one place and one time to be where he meets with all the leadership from the fire councils. They're working on getting grants and development and doing everything so we can basically elevate all of those groups together. And then once it's all created and we have the right foundation built, we'll open that meeting up. We'll move it to an evening time meeting essentially, and then it'll be open to the public for education and things. So please get involved if you have, want info on that. Please let me know after this. It's the last Tuesday of every month at 9:45. They do tend 9:45 in the morning. They do tend to shift that every once in a while to like a nearby library or something, depending on the group, on the working group and availability of everybody. So got to be a little flexible, but we're trying to really centralize it. So the fire marshal has one place to be and all the fire councils come together. We want to see that group get organized and do the great work that they are doing and be on the same page so we can make some actual progress. Outside of that, I'm happy to take any questions. No other significant updates on my end. Things are going pretty well. I will say actually staffing is a huge issue right now. It's been an issue as everyone knows, but this is the worst I've seen it in my 11 years. So it's not improving by any means. I can tell you firsthand, I've worked Sundays on some overtime because they needed help. And I show up at 11 a.m. and they've had only 4 officers from North Park or Hillcrest all the way to La Mesa. 4 police officers. This is a very high density area. It requires, one critical incident call really requires probably 8 because you got to have contact teams. You got to be able to set perimeter, de-escalation, right? You got to have all these non-lethal and other options. So 4 officers is not a lot. Obviously 5 or 6, it's manageable, but 4 is really hard. We'll usually bring in a couple on overtime by 11, but from 6 a.m. to 11, there's 4. And then that's on a weekend. So we get 2 more at 11 that work till 9, and then we'll get second watch will come in at 2, and then we'll hopefully have 2 more to bridge the gap from 5 to 03. We are looking at changing our overtime and being a little bit more flexible with how we manage our overtime because, right, with staffing, it's very pliable and it's very fluid, and we can't be so rigid on how we account for that because we just need people, and the option can't be, well, we're going to have 4 cops. Like that, it just can't work out that way. So we're adjusting our model. We're trying to adapt the best that we can, but staffing it's just getting worse and worse. And we're at a breaking point, in my opinion. So hopefully at the powers that be way above me and way outside of my realm, things are, getting worked out and figured out. And we do have finally a large academy right now. I think it's actually at 50, so that's a good thing. So let's hope. It took us several months to fill it. We need to get back to having 3 academies of 50, because as of right now, we're not going to meet our attrition for another year, probably year and a half. So it's going to get real, I'm going to say dicey a little bit for us. We're going to work, a lot harder than probably, we're just going to be really short. So anyway, I'll open up for questions, please. Anybody have any questions, any concerns, anything?
Any questions online for Josh?
We're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you, Josh. Yes, you are.
Parking enforcement, it seems to still be lagging pretty far behind.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to get with Tucker. Send me an email on that. I'll follow up with Tucker.
Okay.
Who's in
Are
charge.
you talking about 72-hour parking?
I'm talking about some stuff. I'm working on that frontage road on Little College from College Grove to Meridian.
That's a tough area.
Yeah, there's a hauling service truck that's been there for 2 months. I just finally got him pink tagged on Friday, but I just reported 2 RVs and tomorrow I'm reporting 2 boats and a jet ski. So
Yeah, I'm aware of the boats and the jet ski and the RV, one of the RVs I've already marked numerous times, and they move it and then they move back.
yeah,
And they move it, and there's some juveniles, I believe. Not a juvenile, I think he's probably 18 to 20. He's living in it and his
Yeah.
family stays in the house. They
okay.
run an extension cord. So they play the game where they just move and come back and move and come back. And unfortunately, with VHO, Vehicle Habitation Ordinance, not unfortunately, but there's obviously a progressive enforcement with that. But really where I was going with OVO, Oversized Vehicle Ordinance,
Mhm.
we have one dedicated team, and that team has to go out and deal with that OVO situation. And that team is actually led by a sergeant and 2 officers, and the sergeant has to make contact. That's where we're at with the Oversized Vehicle Ordinance. It's not decentralized, right? It used to be the patrol officer can respond between 2 and 4, go out there, knock on the door, hey, here's an OVO site, whatever it was, or a warning, right? And because of the lawsuit, we can no longer do that. The sergeant himself, a sergeant himself, and there's only one, I believe, right now, that can do that. And that team is, as you would imagine, very backlogged.
Yes.
So the OVO stuff is tough to deal with. However, our vehicle abatement guy, he's here on Thursdays. They do have a backlog of several hundred cases, but I usually get priority. And if there's something I can pull them into and it's a registration issue or whatever it is, we'll tow. We've towed semis, we've towed motorhomes, we've towed a lot of things. Obviously, they can't be occupied because vehicle habitation has certain protections. But if we can, and it's just a storage thing, then we can tow them.
Okay,
Good to
very
know.
good. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other questions?
Just curious, any update on the illegal fireworks? I know you guys had.
Yeah, that's been a lot.
'Cause it happened the other
So-
night, I think on Halloween night.
Here's the thing with illegal fireworks is it's a extremely difficult thing to deal with, right? The only way we can charge somebody for that is we have to actively see them lighting the firework off. Very hard to do at night, as you can imagine, and in a very dense place with 4 police officers, very hard to catch them. However, what we found to be effective, and you might have seen it obviously, is by just having the group and identifying, hey, it's this specific car and they live at this address, or they're doing it from this specific location at this time. Then we can go there and hopefully contact them. And in the case that we did over there at the Flyers Park, the guy had a whole bunch of fireworks on him, and I believe the MASS team, basically the Metro Arson Strike team from the Sheriff's Department, along with ours, came out. There's a whole lot of stuff that happened. There's some enforcement posture that curbed a lot of it. Unfortunately, for holiday weekends, 4th of July, I mean, obviously 4th of July, New Year's, some of these holidays where the fireworks are going to be a thing, it's just absolutely impossible to enforce it. And MASS won't even take those cases from an arson standpoint unless they can prove that this guy shot it off and it started the fire over there in the field. And outside of that, they don't have anything to do with it unless obviously they're in possession of a lot of explosives. So yeah, it's a difficult situation. We'll continue to be diligent, and if we can narrow down those places or vehicles and times, then we will definitely do something about that. But that's the only strategy we have at the current time being for the current
Yeah,
time.
because
All right.
it happened again on Halloween night, and it was like the same area, and it was so bad, I thought for sure there was a shootout on my street. I mean, that's what it sounded like.
It can be, it happens, like I said,
So it must have been the same location.
could be, I mean,
Probably the
and it could be
same.
different people.
Yeah.
But
different
it's
people
so
or-
hard. I
so,
mean,
you know, I just didn't know if that person.
we literally
was-
are driving into our substation and a firework goes off right behind us and out behind us, and we race around the corner and we're like, where'd they go?
Yeah, they're
And
gone.
it's absolutely difficult to deal with.
So
We're trying.
the person that was caught with the explosives, I mean, is that person? Oh, free?
I mean, I'm sure they're out because, I mean,
Just
it just
wondering.
depends. It depends on what the arson strike team did. I
Yeah.
have no idea. And it was Southeast in another division, so I can't speak to that, unfortunately. But we'll continue to be diligent and we'll do the best that we can. and
But
we'll
with
pull out-
more officers, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it'd be amazing if we
Totally.
had, you know,
And
40.
that horrifies me.
Yeah,
And I'm sorry.
I know. It is. It is.
You
it
don't deserve
All right.
it. You don't
Yes.
deserve
Thank you,
to have to
Josh.
work that
Appreciate
hard.
it.
Run away.
All right, so we're going to move on to our next representation. So we have Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs here today and covering for Willow.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, well, I know you guys usually get Willow, who gives you a great update, but I figured since I was in town tonight, I'd stop by. Actually, unexpectedly, as of a few hours ago, I'll be heading back to DC tomorrow to vote on the continuing resolution. You know, we've been working really hard to get to a deal that will reopen government and protect people's healthcare. I don't feel like this deal does that, but this is the deal the Senate voted on, so we're going back to do that. In the meantime, I've been here at home, really trying to make sure our community is taken care of during the shutdown. Obviously, we know we're a big military community. We've got a huge federal workforce here. And so we've been working with the food bank, with Feeding San Diego, with other organizations, Jewish Family Service, others, to make sure that we're getting support out to the federal workforce and those impacted by the shutdown, like SNAP recipients. We're also working hard on the National Defense Authorization Act this year. We are this close to getting TRICARE to cover IVF. And all fertility treatments, which will be huge for our community here in San Diego and our large military presence. So that will be a big bipartisan win. We got it through the House, we got it through the Senate. Now we just need to keep it in the final version. So we're working hard on that. And otherwise, happy to answer any questions. I know you guys get regular updates from Willow, and you know that our office is here to help with anything that we can do, but happy to answer any questions.
Okay, we'll start in the room here. Go ahead, Tim.
Are we ever gonna get rid of daylight savings? I know.
Okay. Excellent question. Excellent question. Yeah,
It's Arizona, so I'm going to Arizona 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
It's an hour difference.
yeah. Okay, so as you all may remember, California voted on this.
Right.
And here's the slight hiccup. If we wanted to stay on standard time all year round, we could do that on our own. But because what we voted for was to stay on daylight savings time all year round, which by the way, I agree with, it requires the state legislature to pass something and then Congress to pass something. So it is still being held up at the California State Legislature, so you know who to talk to. But that's the update on that.
Okay.
Clearly, you can tell I'm passionate about this.
Right?
Yeah, yes.
Can I please ask you to, not to destroy the fun we're having, but the healthcare situation,
Yeah.
the cuts.
Yeah.
And this new agreement,
Mhm.
whatever that folks came up with. Can you explain that a little bit? Like what's actually going to happen now?
Yeah.
I know that Democrats were holding out because of that, and now it seems like that's been compromised.
So, many of you probably have received your notifications of what your healthcare premiums will be for the upcoming year. And for many people in our community, those have increased by an astronomical amount. And that is in a large part because the ACA premium tax credits are expiring at the end of this year. And so we've seen reports from folks in our district that they are premiums will increase by $15,000 a year. I was just talking to a family earlier today. Their premiums are going to increase by $7,000 this year. They can't afford that. It's already too expensive to live here in San Diego. And so what we were fighting for was threefold. The proposal we put on the table was that we want to reverse the Medicaid cuts that the Republicans put in the one big ugly bill. We want to extend these ACA premium tax credits. And we want some assurance that whatever bipartisan agreement we come up with will actually be implemented by the administration. My colleagues in the Senate have agreed on a deal to reopen government. They're actually, I think, literally voting on it right now, to reopen the government with a continuing resolution that will go until the end of January, with the promise of a vote in the Senate on the ACA premium tax credits by the end of the year. Now, unfortunately, sometimes my colleagues in the Senate forget that the House also needs to pass things for it to become law. And Mike Johnson has refused to bring up a vote on the ACA premium tax credits and says that this deal does not bind him to do so. So we are now working on what options we have available to force a vote, likely a discharge petition. That process is not quick though, but to force a vote on getting these ACA premium tax credits extended. So what it will mean for families in San Diego is, one, all of the cuts to Medicaid and SNAP that were in the one big ugly bill are staying intact. So people will start to see their healthcare, their Medicaid cuts. Actually, a lot of the SNAP cuts we saw recently were not because of the shutdown. They were because of the one big ugly bill and the cuts to SNAP there. And at the moment, as people are going through open enrollment right now, and they're making their healthcare decisions, what you're going to see is a lot of people opt not to get health coverage because they can't afford it. So even if we pass these tax credits later, which we should, people have already made that decision and open enrollment will be closed. And what you all know is that when you have more people who are uninsured in our community, the healthcare costs for everyone goes up because they still will get emergency treatment. Emergency treatment is the most expensive form of treatment. It's on average 12 times more than preventative care. And that uncompensated care that the hospitals and health clinics will be absorbing will be passed along to the rest of us. So I'm really concerned about what the healthcare outlook is going to be for the next year. It's why we fought so hard to try and get this addressed now. But the fight's not over. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to use every tool we have. And I'm hopeful that enough of our Republican colleagues will recognize that it's actually their constituents who are the most hurt by this. And they will work with us to get it done. I wish I had better news for you.
No, I appreciate it. I just, yeah.
All right. Anybody else have any questions in here?
Yes.
In the room, but then, since I don't see any other hands, we'll go online.
Hey, Sarah, it's Fox. I just want to say I'm sorry I'd missed the meeting in person, that you're there, and I'm watching Monday Night Football, watching the meeting at home.
Priority, Paul.
That's all. Thanks.
All right. Anybody else online? No? Okay, all right.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you all. And just as
Good
a
to see
note
you.
at the end, I just want to say thank you because I told Lynn this many times, but I feel like at times like this, when we all feel so pulled apart and everything in DC feels so crazy, like the work you all do at the community level to show up every day for your community and make sure that our little community here has what it needs and feels connected. Like that's what we need right now. That's how we're going to rebuild our country. And I'm just so grateful there are people like you who spend so much of your time and energy doing that. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very true.
Thank you for
Right.
being on our side.
Yes. All right, well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so, next, Roberto. I did see you online, didn't I?
He's still there.
Yeah.
Oh, did I lose you? Okay. It looks like he dropped. Okay,
He dropped off.
he
yeah.
dropped off.
He's not there. He was there about.
Okay,
5
he was,
minutes
I
ago.
know I saw his name.
Yeah.
All right, so then that would be, I think I covered everybody for our representatives for the evening. Okay. All right, so we will move on, and Lynn, you're gonna introduce, right?
Yeah.
So
um,
Lynn's gonna introduce our main presentation for this evening.
Okay, so if you don't know, I'm going to be introducing Principal Olivia Noriega. She joined the school just over 2 years ago. And I asked her sometime back about the whole site modernization program, mostly for communication to the community. Because one thing I saw last year, I did see other schools in the Crawford cluster that are also going to be getting modernization projects. And that information was shared with the community. Ours has been a little lacking, and it's not from the principal, it's actually from the communications from the school. Olivia has some information to share. This project is already late and just became 6 months late again. So I'm going to turn it over to Olivia.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm sorry, I'm sitting in my car. I'm a little fuzzy. I hope you can hear me. I'm at my daughter's soccer practice. But thank you, Lynn, for inviting me this evening. I think we're still awaiting for the district to be able to release blueprints and renderings of the scope of the project. I've been asking since I came on board. I've notified them that the community would like to know what the plan is, what the scope of the project is. Am I able to share? I know you had some photos,
Yes.
Lynn, of public.
Yes, you can share, Olivia, or I can pull them up if you want.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I think if it's easier for you.
I can pull up the one from the first one from the entrance.
Yes, please.
Okay.
So as Lynn had mentioned, our date and timeline has been pushed back yet again. The last meeting that I had with the district representatives on our end, the project managers, was the end of September. And since I've come on board to Rolando Park, we are now at our third project manager on the district side. So I started off with one person, then had a second project manager for a period of time, and that person has since left. And then at the September meeting that I had, I was introduced to the new person who is taking over and is becoming familiar with the scope of the project. I will say information that is public. Lynn is right. There was an April date. We are now pushed back to April. So prior to our September meeting, the timeline that I was aware of was that our school community, or our teachers and staff, were going to start a moving and phasing plan this winter break. And in September, I was told that that is not going to happen. So it got pushed to April. And what that means is it's going to the Board of Education in April. And so the real timeline that I have is that the project has been minimized to 2 years. I think they presented that to me as a positive. It was originally planned to be a 3-year project. They're trying to foresee that it gets done in 2. I'm going a little bit fast here, but what you see on the screen, or what Lynn has shared, is a proposed rendering of what the main entrance will look like. So one of the main things that I am able to share is that the main office that's been there and is currently there, will be moved to the front of the school to make it a more prominent and welcoming, and prominent area. So when you come up the driveway, this would be, you can drive up and go, oh, this is the main office, right? This is proposed, and I will just say that the colors that you see here are not definite. This is kind of just a preliminary rendering of it. I've been told that all classrooms will be renovated and gutted. So all the buildings that are on our campus now will remain. The only new building that they are proposing in the plan are 2 TK classrooms that will be built in the kindergarten playground. So where the current kindergarten playground and play structure is, it's that corner area. And originally they had mentioned a 2-story building. On the preliminary drafts that I've seen, it looks like it's going to be a 1-story, 2 classrooms side by side in that area. The rest of the school, all classrooms will be gutted. And what that meant was they were going to remove all existing cabinetry in the perimeters of the classrooms. Those will become walls, and then all of the furniture and storage spaces would become mobile and modern furniture. The kitchen's going to get an upgrade. The auditorium will get an upgrade, as you guys all know that have attended in person. The technology in our auditorium, which most schools now call multi-purpose rooms, is very old. You can just look at the panel. I know that Lynn and RPCC uses a whole different system, but what we use during the day is a screen that pulls down, and then a very old 1950s or 1960s panel, if you will. So that will be upgraded as well. The company that won the bid for the construction of that will oversee the whole site modernization is Swinnerton. And from what I've heard from other colleagues that are going through site modernization, there seems to be 2 builders or construction companies. It's either Swinnerton or Soltech Pacific. And I've been told that Swinnerton's the better or the more reliable of the 2. I'm not sure, but so far in the process, they've been very cooperative and collaborative when it comes to getting my input and eliciting input from teachers. I will share, so back to the April timeline, I'm awaiting to see that actually comes to fruition. April 2026 is when we're supposed to go to the board. Prior to April, I've been told that 4 months before it goes to the board, that's when subcontractors will be invited to bid on the scope of the job. So we're looking at January of 2026, in a couple months here, that subcontractors will be invited on campus. We'll have a bunch of people, from what I've heard, and they walk through where the architects and Swinnerton walk through the scope of the whole job. That's all I know about that. So that takes place January, 4 months prior to the bid actually going to the board in April. And then when this all actually happens, we're going to go into 5 phases of moving, I guess, is what for us is what it looks like. They're going to start on the kindergarten side of the campus, and they've taken me through 5 phases where we are moving and relocating classrooms into other parts of the campus to free up space and work on those particular areas. Our teachers are kind of nervous. They're awaiting that. They've done some cleaning already to help prepare. I don't know if some of you, if parents are here, you've been on campus. We have a big container on the Xena Drive side of our campus near the auditorium and the lunch tables. That is completely filled. We haven't been able to remove that container yet because of the current solar panel project that's happening on our blacktop. So the nice thing is teachers are worried about whether they'll have time to move during these 5 phases. They have shared with me that they're going to use mostly our breaks, which would be not Thanksgiving break, but winter break, maybe spring break, and a lot of the summer breaks to help those transitions run smoothly, and that moving companies will help to pack up teachers' items. So I'm really encouraging teachers to start purging all of their stuff. Because some of our teachers are seasoned and have been in their classrooms for 10 to 15 plus years. And we know that teachers like to hold on to things. And so this is the perfect time to prepare and start getting rid of those items. That's about all I have. I definitely have asked our district that to present to the community with visuals, boards, information. I'm hoping to plan that. It might be during a coffee with the principal. If I can get them to come during an evening meeting for RPCC, I will. I informed informed my district side that I was going to present a little bit of information that I had, and they weren't ready yet. So I'm going to keep pushing and asking for it so that community and neighbors will be able to walk in and hopefully see true renderings of what the whole site modernization is going to look like.
All right, well, thank you.
Um,
Did anybody have any questions or
Yeah.
anything?
I
Us
think we're
clapping.
applauding.
There we go.
Olivia, at some point, we'll have to move from the auditorium, and we can move to the library. Is that correct? For our meeting?
Yes, that's correct. So
Okay.
part of the phasing will be that teachers' materials and even some office spaces will be placed in the auditorium. The auditorium is going to be storage eventually. So RPCC will have to relocate to a temporary location during that phasing time.
Okay, and do you know where they're going to be staging the construction materials? I hope not in the middle of the joint use parking lot again.
No. So, and I'm going to say this is what was proposed initially, where the Head Start area is, our driveway that entering our parking lot, the joint use parking lot, that driveway that used to have the play structure and I guess the previous Head Start portable, which was a preschool area, that vacant
Right.
lot, I guess, is where they propose to stage everything.
Okay, thank you. Audrey?
Yeah, hi, everybody. I just wanted to ask, since the school is so old, has anybody had any concerns about maybe asbestos remediation or anything like that, especially when the students are present?
I want to say that that's part of their process. They've looked at all of that. I mean, they're looking at electrical, they've looked at underground plumbing. I don't have specifics or particulars, but I'm almost 100% certain that asbestos has been looked at already.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you.
Thanks, Audrey.
Any other questions?
Oh, one last question. Olivia, do you know if we're going to get new drapes in the auditorium?
I hope so. I mean, Ernesto and I have been trying to pull some of the cords that we could reach. And then I think on I don't know what side that is, on your left side, Lynn, from where you're sitting, there are a few drapes there that have fallen off the actual
Yep.
hooks or tracks.
Yep, this side is not
And
good
I
either.
don't know when the last time that has been closed or opened. I know that Ernesto has had to move them because we've had birds that fly in there,
Oh.
and there might be a dead bird up above on one of them.
Oh.
I think the accessibility is difficult. There's not a ladder tall enough, and when they've had to request a scissor lift, as in our lunch table area, the district is very minimal with being able to let us borrow a scissor lift, and then for them to be on a scissor lift, the person has to be trained and certified. So it's not, Ernesto can't just borrow it and then hop on the scissor lift to fix or change light bulbs in areas that he can't reach. But yes, the drapes will be. I'm going to make sure that will change for sure.
Good, thank you. There's a question from Cecilia in the chat. She wants to know, will there be a bathroom upgrade with the modernization?
Absolutely.
100, okay.
Yes, all of our restrooms are very old tile. I mean, some of it's really cool to see the tile, but you can just tell by the color scheme of the tile that it's dated and has been there for a long time.
Yeah, and Chris posted, he said, I recognize the drapes left from the 1980s. Roof.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right.
Um,
Anybody else?
so they'll be doing construction for 2 years during the school day as well. Is that right? Monday through Friday?
Correct.
I do know for some people who live across the canyon, noise carries. They're a little concerned about the noise abatement on this. What else? Dan, do you know when the solarization project is going to be done since it's running so late? No. Sometime.
Unfortunately, with that project as well, the main contact on the district side had a health emergency. As of 2 weeks ago, I would go on a weekly call. There were 3 other schools with us that would join this call to get updates regarding our school. And the main contact or the main project manager that oversees the solar panels at the 3 schools or 4 school sites had a medical emergency. They're transitioning into a different an interim project manager to get up to date with what's happening at each one. I don't have a timeline. I just know the guy that hopped onto campus last week said that he's going to try to expedite it. And I said, yes, please, because this has been ongoing since April, if not before April. And it's been over 6 months. I said it highly impacts our arrival and dismissal, as well as our playground area. They were able to remove temporary fencing for our trunk or treat event in October, but then quickly put it back up. And I know there's an open trench there. I want them to do what's right and not just speed through the process just to get it finished. So it's a third party contractor as well. And I've been complaining when I can about, oh, is somebody supposed to be on site? Who's supposed to be working? And I'll check in with Ernesto to see if he had seen anybody that day. I appreciate the patience of Rolando Park community and our school families, because it's been a long time and it's like, okay, when will we see the end in sight? And I don't have an end date, but I know with this new project manager who's overseeing, he's saying this should have been done, which I agree. So hopefully sooner than later. I'm hoping we don't go into the school year. I mean, into the new year, into 2026. So
Yeah.
crossing my fingers for that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
Okay.
So if there's nothing else, that would be, we'll wrap up our meeting. Be a little early today for our meeting. And I thank everybody for coming. We hope to see you next month at the holiday social
Or dumpster day.
or dumpster day. Check RolandoPark.org website for all the activities for this month and next month. Right? Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot,
Bye,
Olivia.
everybody.
Thank you, Olivia, for coming. All right, everyone. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Make sure to bring your bags on Friday.
Yes.
Farmer's market.
Yep, I put it on the flyer that I posted today. Bring your own bags. Okay.
Yes.
Thanks. Good night, everyone.